welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy this video. So today's video is my 15-week pregnancy update. I normally record these videos on the exact day I turn a new week, so on the Friday itself when I will be 16 weeks, but I am going away for my mum's birthday, so I'm actually filming this a day early. So I'm 15 weeks, 6 days today, and hoping nothing happens too dramatic overnight so that this isn't relevant, but fingers crossed, everything will be fine, and this will be my genuine 15-week update. So this week has been pretty good really. There's not actually too much to report. The main thing I need to talk about is probably that I had my 16-week midwife appointment yesterday. So that was on Wednesday and I was 15 weeks, 5 days pregnant. I had my 16-week midwife appointment, which for some reason I was just so nervous about. I think every time I approach a new milestone, I just get incredibly nervous. I remember at my 8-week appointment, she said, "Oh, I'll book you in for your 16-week appointment now," and flicked to the appointments page. And the fear that pulsed through me, because I was thinking, why are you doing that now? I'm not going to make it to then. It seems pointless. And I felt like she was jinxing things a bit by even putting it in. I just hadn't expected to get to that appointment. So to reach that milestone, I was just fully expecting to get there and for something to have gone wrong. I know it was a bit of a stuck record with me, and again, a bit negative, but it just all seems too good to be true, and I hope it is true, and I hope it stays this way. Fingers crossed it will, and this little bean of mine is staying in there for good. But I just feel so lucky that I think, like, no, this can't be right. So yeah, I was feeling really nervous yesterday morning, so I did get the Doppler out again. I had this horrendous vision of going to the midwife appointment and then her trying to find the heartbeat and it not being there, and that really panicked me. So I did whip the Doppler out yesterday morning and found the heartbeat, so that made me feel a little bit better about going to that appointment, so that was really good. So I went to the appointment, not too much happened. She told me the results of my blood tests I'd had done at 8 weeks, and they were all great, they all looked fine. My blood group was fine, nothing to worry about there. What else did she do? She did checked my urine. There was no like ketones or nothing else they look for in terms of like UTIs or anything, so that was really good. She did book me on, this felt very premature and very scary. She booked me onto some antenatal classes. The NHS antenatal classes, she told me I can book on myself at my 20-week scan. I'll book them at the hospital when I have the 20-week scan. But there's also some community run classes that don't happen that often. I think they've had to make a lot of cuts. So she was like, I'd rather book you on it now to make sure you get your place. So she's booked me on that for September, which feels forever away. So I think that starts September the 12th, and it's 1 class a week for 5 weeks, which actually takes me up to 3 days before my due date, which is a bit crazy. But she was like, it's your first baby, like, I'm sure you'll go over, it's totally fine. So it was quite comforting that she was like happy to book me on something that was so in advance. But yeah, so that's quite exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. I want to do any kind of class I can really, but it just feels so early to be thinking about stuff like that. But yeah, it was really good. She wasn't going to listen to the heartbeat. I don't think they really do that as routine anymore at a 16-week midwife appointment, but I kind of said to her, I was really honest and said, look, I know they're not really recommended, but I have bought a Doppler. And she was like, oh. So I know midwives don't recommend them. But I kind of explained, look, I am a massive worrier. I've been spending a lot of money having to have private scans because I get myself so worried, and until I feel movement, I'm finding it really hard to kind of reason with myself. So when I explained that's why I'd bought it, and that, you know, when I do start feeling movements, they will be what I'm focusing on, not what the Doppler's saying, she was kind of all right with it and said that she totally understood, so that was really good. So she did actually say, well, let me do the heartbeat for you and then we can check you're definitely listening to the right thing, you know where you're looking, that kind of thing. So that was really nice of her. She found the heartbeat straight away. So it confirmed for me that what I had thought was the heartbeat definitely was. So I have been finding the heartbeat on the Doppler. She said it sounded really good. It was a really strong heartbeat. She had no concerns. I think she wrote down in here what it was. Where is it? Where is it? And she's put fetal heart rate 158 beats per minute. So she said that was really good. She couldn't hear any decelerations. She was really happy with it. So that was really nice. Overall, the appointment was just really good. It made me feel a lot more confident. She booked my next one, which isn't until 25 weeks, which feels a lifetime away. I think that's 11th of July. That feels forever away. But, you know, we got to this appointment and I didn't think we would, so hopefully we'll get to that one too. Probably the most significant thing that happened this week during week 15, which might sound really weird, unless you've been through infertility. If you've been through infertility, I totally think you will understand this. But if you haven't, it might sound awful. I don't know. I hope it doesn't sound awful. But basically, this week, my friend told me she's pregnant. And I turned to Andrew and I said, oh, I won't say her name, but I said, oh, she's pregnant. I'm so happy for her. And then suddenly it hit me and I felt really, really, really emotional, and I was like, oh my god, I'm happy for her. Like, not, oh, I'm happy but I'm green with envy, or not, I'm happy but why is that not me, or I'm happy but it's not fair, why is it not happening to me. I was just genuinely happy with no kind of other negative feeling ruining that, and I feel a bit emotional even talking about it. I know it sounds silly, but like, all I've wanted for years is for someone to be able to tell me that they're pregnant and for me to not feel like I've been stabbed in the heart. I know that sounds really dramatic, but when you're going through infertility or miscarriage and all you want in the world is to be pregnant, when someone tells you that they are, it doesn't matter how happy you are for them, there is always that gut feeling of, it's not fair. I hope that doesn't sound awful. And obviously this is just how I feel. I'm not speaking for everyone who's been through infertility. If you do feel the same, I would love to know, because I have always struggled with people's pregnancy announcements and I've always found them quite difficult to handle. And if I said otherwise, I'd be lying. Like, I hear people who've been through infertility and they say that they feel nothing but happiness when they see a pregnancy announcement, and if that is true, then that's amazing, and I think they are a far stronger, better person than I am. But when I saw pregnancy announcements and that's all I wanted in the world, yes, I could be happy for that person, but to be honest, the overriding feeling I felt a lot of the time was just sadness and jealousy, and it's a horrible feeling. But for someone to tell me that they're pregnant and to have nothing but pure joy and pure happiness for them, it really made me really emotional, because I was just like so happy to feel happy for someone, and to feel genuine happiness with there wasn't even the smallest tinge of jealousy or unfairness. And I think that's what's really sad about infertility and really sad about struggling to conceive in whatever capacity that might be, is that it does make you quite bitter and it makes you quite jealous, and to whatever extent I sometimes let that very much get the better of me. I hope that makes sense. I don't want that to sound like I'm a spoiled brat or I ever wasn't happy for people, because I've never been unhappy for someone. Like, everyone deserves the chance to be a parent, and I've never been unhappy for someone or resented someone for having that. But the jealousy really did take the edge off the happiness and make it feel like I was just not a very nice person, to be honest. I mean, going through infertility really did change me. I'm sure a lot of people that have been through it would say the same, and I think it very much makes you a different person. So yeah, for me, that was the absolute highlight of this week, was just the ability to feel happiness for someone else, true happiness for someone else. It was just such a nice feeling, because I haven't felt that for a very long time. I will quickly also tell you of my symptoms this week. The overriding one, which I also mentioned last week, and if you watched my weekend vlog, you will have heard me mention, are the headaches. Oh, they have been horrendous. I've had really, really bad headaches for weeks now. I did mention them to my midwife. She had my blood pressure, that was absolutely fine. Nothing came back in my urine or anything, so she's very kind of confident it's just a hormonal kind of symptom for me, which is fine. I was worried there was going to be something more behind it, but she seemed confident that it wasn't, so it's fine, it's just unpleasant. I'd been trying to avoid taking paracetamol as much as I could because I just don't feel right, like, putting too much of that into my body, even though they say it's fine to take paracetamol in pregnancy. But I did speak to my midwife about it again yesterday, and she said there is no point suffering. Like, if it's bad, take it. It's not going to harm the baby. So I've kind of come to terms with that a little bit more now. The forehead stick is helping. I still really like it, but once that headache's really set in, it doesn't really do much. It's only good if you catch it really early on. Other symptoms are, this is something I wanted to ask you guys about if you are pregnant or if you've been pregnant before. I've been having this, I don't even know how to explain this, it sounds awful. I've been having like sharp stabbing, shooting pains, like into my vagina. There's no other word to describe it really. I feel like someone's got a knife and they're stabbing me in the vagina. I've tried to do some research on it, and I know there's something called like lightning crotch or whatever, but I thought you got that like really late on in pregnancy, and obviously I'm only like 16 weeks now, so I don't feel like it could be that. I've also done some research that said maybe it could be that baby is lying really low on my cervix, so that's definitely a possibility. But it's really like, it's not agony, but it's quite uncomfortable, and it makes me feel like I can't stand up straight when it happens. I feel like I need to lie down until it passes. It doesn't last long, but for the past couple of days I have been having it quite a few times, but typically not until after I'd seen the midwife. As soon as I got home, it was like boom, lightning in my vagina. It wasn't very pleasant. So yeah, if you have any ideas what that could be at 16 weeks, I'm hoping it's nothing to worry about and it's just like a not very nice feeling. I know there's like round ligament pain too, but I do feel like I've had a bit of like, isn't that more at the side of your stomach rather than like in your vagina? I don't know. So if you know what that could be, please tell me. Although please don't tell me it means something horrible and scary, because you know what I'm like and I will panic. So yeah, headaches, shooting pain in the vagina. What else have we had? Lots of weeing, as always. Literally cannot sleep for 2 hours without needing to go for a wee. It's just ridiculous. But it's fine, like, it's just one of them things, isn't it? And actually, there's been a couple of nights where I've maybe only needed to go for a wee once or twice in the night, and then I panic and I'm thinking like, what's wrong with the baby? Why am I only weeing once or twice? So I will take weeing every couple of hours in the night. That is fine with me, as long as it means that the baby is okay. So I think that is it really for this week. As I mentioned, I am... Oh, no it's not. This week we have booked our gender scan. My birthday's on the 14th of May, which is next Sunday. So we've booked the gender scan for next Sunday. So that means that in... How many days is that? This is going up on Friday. So in 9 days, all being well, keep growing baby, we will find out whether we are having Paul or Pauline. I'm so excited. I can't wait to find out. As you all know, I'm convinced it's a boy, but you never know, do you? Who knows? Who knows what's in there? So I cannot wait to hopefully find out if we are lucky enough that they can tell and that baby's still growing and everything's looking good. I would love to find out the gender. I'm so impatient, so I'm really looking forward to that. Got a really exciting couple of weeks planned as well. Obviously, as I mentioned, tomorrow is my mum's birthday, so I'm really looking forward to celebrating that, and we're going for like a girly weekend in Whitby. We've booked a really nice cottage and there's like me, my mum, my auntie Abby's going from Lily Pad and Bow, a few of our other cousins and our mum's friend, so that should be a really, really nice girly weekend. And then for my birthday, not on the actual weekend, but the Monday after my birthday, so the 15th of May to the 17th of May, me and Andrew have booked a beautiful like log cabin in North Yorkshire for a few days, and it looks stunning. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to vlog both getaways for you all to have a little nosy at, and hopefully I'll get some really nice footage. So yeah, that's it really, guys. I will leave you with the bump shot as per usual. I'm really starting to notice it now, especially this week. I'm waking up and I've definitely got something there. I have had a few people, no strangers or anything, but I've had a few people that know me, that know I'm pregnant, who maybe I don't see all the time, be like, oh wow, like you've got a proper little bump now. So that's really nice to have people noticing it. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I hope you all have a brilliant weekend, and I will see you all in my next video. So this is the bump at technically 15 weeks, 6 days pregnant, but we'll say 16 weeks pregnant. Definitely feel like I've got a bump now. Feels really solid. So yeah, I will see you all in my next video, guys.